Those who know, do not speak. Those who speak, do not know. In 1934, the American writer Upton Sinclair was to run for governor of California, in a completely unusual way. During the election campaign, using his skills as a writer, he published a book entitled, I, the Governor of California, and How I Ended Poverty. Somehow that book explains at the past tense, all the policies, laws, charities, and lifestyle that Sinclair got for California, through his position as governor. A position he had not yet won. Due to his mastery of writing, the book proved to be a real success. People were crazy about it. They bought it and read it breathlessly, and of course they appreciated its quality. We would be inclined to believe that that book influenced their voting behavior, but things were upside down. Sinclair lost nearly 250,000 votes, accumulating less than 10% of the total. Even if other politicians did not have the gift of writing, like Sinclair, they had something else, namely, the will to carry the campaign to the end through their actions, and not through words. So, that success of the book launch proved to be useless, compared to the election results. The book has lost its true purpose, and with it its credibility. And this is one reason why neither you, nor I have ever heard of it. Even though it was a bestseller at the time of its publication. And you probably wonder at this point, what led to the drastic decline of this American writer, in his election campaign? That in the end, it's good to do your propaganda, and even to write a book about it, in order to attract people's credibility. And probably like the other activists, the other competitors were doing this in one form or another. The problem was that the image he created was the first, and only step Sinclair took to win the election. He did nothing more than write a single book. This was his fundamental mistake. Self-promotion before action. Sinclair simply formed full of glory, when in fact in real life he was not assumed. Do not get me wrong. It is very good to know where you want to go. But without effort to turn his imaginary vision into something real, it will simply remain a dream, that will lose its credibility and liveliness. The failure of the American writer, Upton Sinclair, also teaches us two extremely valuable lessons, namely, 1. First you do, and then you are. Too often we put our self-image forward, without supporting it from behind with actions that represent it. We applaud pictures on social media, and check every minute the number of likes, and how many followers we have. We promote a perfect image on external validation sources, like Instagram, Facebook or even TikTok, and then we return to the emptiness of our soul. We waste hours in a row taking care of this false image of ourselves, just to gain a split second of attention and validation from those around us. Let's be honest, we don't even know them. The cruel truth is that people don't care about what you post, but about your actions. And guess what? Maybe sometimes not even those. People don't care how well you're doing, what exotic places you visited, or what model of car you have, but the actions you take on a daily basis, that involve them in some way, bringing them benefits. And as long as you act in this direction consistently and continuously, of course this will be seen, and the results will begin to appear. And ask a question, what are you following me for? Because I'm nice? Because of what car I'm driving? Or because I'm trying to give you the most value out of the work I'm doing? Ask yourself this question. It's the action that will make the difference, and that will bring value as a consequence in people's lives. Action. Basically what you do, is the only way you'll gain real respect and appreciation from people, and not through what you show, or claim to be. The craving for attention is deceptive, and will never satisfy you. But I also tell you one thing, the environment in which we live favors it. All we see is a constant struggle for attention and validation of one's ego, in both virtual and real life. Everyone wants to be the best, and the most loved. And if someone proves to be superior, frustration, denial and evil appear. And everything around us urges us to talk, but sabotages us when it comes to action. Do an exercise of imagination too. On social media, everyone give their opinion about COVID-19, financial education, psychology, or the future of this world. But no one bases their personal opinions on statistical data, or validated studies, much less on their actions, to trigger the change. See on social media people who give themselves investors, but they have no results, and they drive an old car. You see people on social media who call themselves psychologists, people of change, but they don't have any kind of knowledge, and they make you worse. And the list can go on and on. Do not leave yourself prey to your ego. Really focus on the person you want to become, but through your actions, and not through external confirmations. Spend as much time doing what is right for your dreams, and stop talking about them. And besides, you don't need anyone's validation, Let others talk about what they want about you, good or bad, and don't get attached to anyone's opinions. Action is the only way you can attract excellence and mastery in the field you want. And number 2. A lot of talking leads to even less action. Sinclair's plan to become governor was just to write a book about the changes he had made as a California governor. And nothing more. Simply an illusion, a story. When he finished the book, he had the feeling that his mission was complete. His initial plan having nothing else at base. Thus all of Sinclair's motivation to be governor of California was consumed. He could already see in his imagination that he was in the position of governor, and the changes he was going to make when the book was completed. So why would it have been interesting to get something that he deceived himself that he already has? Emotionally, for Sinclair all the work has already happened. But in real life nothing happened. Why would he want to do the same thing in real life a second time? Practically all his enthusiasm and devotion lost, without leaving any trace in people's lives, as promised in the book. This example is reinforced by psychological studies that tell me that if we reveal our plans to people, the chances of fulfilling them decrease considerably. The explanation lies in the phenomenon of demotivation. Simply the act itself of sharing future plans brings satisfaction and a sense of validation from people, and we feel somewhat rewarded. And of course, we no longer feel like acting anymore. Basically, if we show everyone our plans, we lose the battle before we win it. So remember, silence is a sign of strong people. Don't give any other explanations for what you think or do. Silence keeps you focused and connected to your goals. Do not reveal to people what you have in mind until the plan materializes in the real world. Take people's eyes only by the power of your results, born somewhat in moments of creative pain. And if you really want to have an image in front of people, this should be that of a man of action. And I want to end this clip with a story. Before I started Dreams Come True, I always told my loved ones what I wanted to do, and so on, and I bragged about who I was. The reality was different. Nobody noticed me, because I wasn't doing anything. My life changed when I stopped thinking about what I wanted to do. I didn't tell anyone my plans, and I did what I had to do. That's how I launched Dreams Come True, and I had an impact on people, and this brings me the greatest satisfaction. The reward does not come from stories, from posts on social media, with cars, with rich people, or with everything that you want. The reward comes only from your work, when you do something to help the one next to you. And you have to be very careful, because the force of thoughts is beneficial, but only if it is accompanied by action, and that's it. I always see on social media, people who write and make posts, attract millions of dollars by force of thought, and you will do I don't know what, and I don't know how. And I know they are totally lost people, because the thought without action is zero. So from now on you know what to do, let the actions give you your own value.